roommate, right? If you know you got to go to the bathroom, you go to the lobby bathroom. We need a rule book of how to be a good roommate in baseball.
There it is. There it is. Unwritten rules right there. Little etiquette, little roommate etiquette.
Let's forget the unwritten rules of baseball of the 1970s and 80s, and let's move on to the unwritten rules of the
Yeah.
actual part of being a baseball player. And these are one of them. No, no pissing on the bus or no shitting on the bus. These are the real unwritten
Yeah.
rules of baseball, not the no bunting in the see Bauer bunting the seventh inning of an 8-0 ball
Yeah.
game. Unwritten rules. So
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. Well, yeah, so we're going to have a little unorganic conversation here, as we've already kind of talked about this, but I'm going to touch base again on a few things that we've talked about. That the Atlantic League is changing a few rules coming up. In 2019, they changed the rules, and the fans in West Virginia are going to get a new experience from moving from the South Atlantic League of an affiliated league to an independent league with the rule changes that the Atlantic League or the partner league is adopting. One of those rule changes is a 15-inch base is now being changed to 18-inch base. Art, you're playing in the Mexican league. You played 10 years now. You're used to one base size. What would that size increase, a 20% increase at first base, due to a first baseman, due to the plays at first base? What does that look like for you for a bigger base?
Um, I think just overall, as far as like the base width and how big the base is, there could be some benefits to it for sure for first baseman. A lot of times you see guys, not getting to the bag or, just missing the bag by an inch, because they're trying to like find the bag and catch the ball. Just on those tough plays where you're running to the base, but you have a weird angle where you have to turn all the way around to get a ball from the second baseman who dove in the 3-4 hole and he has to make a play. I feel like the bigger base will kind of help with that as well. And then also just in general, as far as like we can talk about safety wise too, that goes into it, and making sure that we are out of the way for the base runner, preventing from the ankles getting stepped on, from collisions in any type of way. I feel like there's those kind of benefits for first baseman for sure.
Yeah, I can definitely see that as well. Yeah, I just saw a play last night. Stevenson. I was watching the Dodgers game, so I watched Robert Stevenson, coming up with. Remember, he was coming up with the Reds, and he's now pitching with the Rockies. He tried to those pitchers for me trying to cover first base on a double play ball. It was a routine double play ball.
Yeah,
He's there covering first base, and he gets his feet tangled, and then you don't want to. And then another one of the same pitcher doesn't want to get his footstep, so he slowed up to touch first base before, and then there was a
yeah,
tie guy at safe. So there's a lot of those little, like, especially for a pitcher, a lot of those plays you just don't want contact. So I think that
100%.
yeah, that safety issue's got to be the reason that the Atlantic League is trying to make that switch. So the MLB might be moving to that way. Would you be in favor of how about a 30-inch base?
I feel like 30 inches is too big for me. I feel like that'd be just too big. Like I don't know. Like there's some. I mean, there's a small change to where it could benefit, and then there's just overdoing it. I feel like if we get to too big of a bag, it could just be a little much. Like I mean, obviously it would help on those close plays, guys bobbling balls, and they make that tough play, and we gotta get that stride out there to pick up the ball, and stuff like that. It can work out and be a benefit for sure. But I feel like just for guys like myself and the other many professional baseball players out there, we've played the game with the base being a certain way for so long. Now we're talking about making the base so much bigger. So like that muscle memory that we have, like there's times where I can feel the ball, I can throw it to second base for a double play if I'm playing behind the runner,
Mhm.
and I can just run to first base and know exactly where I have to be at without even having to like look at the bag. It's just like
Mhm.
a muscle memory thing.
Right.
With a little bit bigger bag, I feel like okay, yeah, like that still works, but way big. You're doubling the size of the base now. Now now that's going to be a little bit more difficult, to where maybe I sprain my ankle, get back to the bag, or trying to figure out where the bag is. I have to look and then try to find the bag to know where I have to put my foot, and then also pick up the baseball too. So I don't know. I feel like there's some pros and cons for sure, but I just don't. For me, in my personal opinion, I don't think it should be that much bigger. But just that small change can definitely be a benefit.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see how that plays out, and I'm sure they'll look at the data, look at the plays that the people that could have been injured maybe on close bang bang plays. Is there less injuries on that? So it'll be good to see if it's a benefit, and maybe that'll happen at the major league level, and it'll be fun for the fans to be able to see if they can notice an increase, because I don't think the players will notice too much. It's not big enough to notice, but if it can just add a fraction, helping 1 to 2, 3 guys stay healthy, that might be a big benefit. And then
exactly.
I think we had talked about this a little bit, for guys sliding to second base, and the more I think about it, the more I think I'm wrong. But I thought I was going to give this grade. I'm going to give grades for each of these rule changes, and I was going to give this one a B or B plus, because I thought they could have done a little bit more. I thought it could have gone bigger. I kind of like what you're saying, that it might be too big though. But I thought the guys could slide into second base or slide into third base a little bit and have more room to grab the hand on the base. But I think that the second baseman might just back up a little bit. But I think there still might be a little more room for excitement, a little more room for maneuverability around the bases. You like those swim plays. I think that are real fun. The fans love those. I love seeing it. It's becoming more popular. Is that going to be something that could happen?
As far as like sliding in and making those swim plays and adding that excitement to the game, I think that definitely could be something that helps, because you got those bang bang plays sometimes where even on double plays, or you got a guy still in second base and he's out by a couple inches. Well, now there's a few inches added on to the base, and that couple inches he's out by, maybe now he's safe. So maybe that adds more stolen bases to the league and to the game, and adds that excitement to it as well. Like, everybody loves home runs, but whenever you get a fast guy on base, like, everybody's like, oh, he's going to steal. He's going to steal, and everybody in the whole stadium knows that, not just the people, the fans, or the people on the field. Everyone knows this guy's going to steal. But now, maybe instead of him being out by an inch, he's safe, So would that affect like catchers pop time now having to be quicker, like what does that all bring to the game,
Man, that's a great point that you add. I didn't even think of that. Those, the first base is now going to be 3 inches more, and second base is going to be a little bit closer. So those inch plays, that's why they did see, maybe one of the big reasons why they did see the stolen base numbers go up in 2019 is because there's not as far to go for the guy stealing the base, and there's more room for him to touch the base.
100%. And now those throws where you see like Javi Baez catch those throws up in the air, tag guys between his legs, maybe that play, it looks sick, but maybe the guy's safe and not out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just those little tiny critiques of the game could change so much. It could be a small change and a minute change to the base to where we think it doesn't affect us or the game as much. But then again, you see all these plays that are challenged. You see all the stuff that's going on. Maybe that then changes too,
Yeah, that guy running to first base has a little bit. Has 3 inches less to run to first base. He bunts it. He's trying to little lefty drag bunt. Hey, he's got 3 inches less to run to tap that first base.
That's my change up off the end of the bat inside the infield base hit right there now.
you don't do that though. You just take me deep. Man, when we were talking, it was funny. So you take me. As a pitcher, I delete all those memories. So I was thinking that I'd never given up a home run to you, because every home run I give up, man, I forget about that probably before the next pitch, let alone the next day,
sure.
let alone what I hadn't talked to you in a few years. And now you have to bring it back up to me. So man, short memory in this game.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's go a couple more rule changes. Since I got you here, I'm going to just run a couple more by you and get your opinion on them. Might use it for a little bit more.
All right.
Give me on an automated strike zone. What are you liking an automated strike zone? Is that something as a hitter you would like?
I mean, I don't know about that one. I mean, it can go both ways. I feel like, sometimes calls get missed that are balls, they get called strikes. I know it's happened to me quite a bit, and then we also sometimes as hitters, we take those pitches away from the pitchers that are strikes, but they're called balls, so there can be arguments either way. But I just feel like umpires are just part of the game, like to where that could be a benefit both ways. I feel like you just having that umpire back there and calling it, I mean, that's part of it, like, yeah, you have better umpires than others. Some are more consistent than others, but like the umpires back there calling strikes and balls is just part of the game. I feel like we can't get rid of them. We got to let that part of the game stay.
Yeah. Okay. And then let me go one more at you. We're also having a rule change about the shift. There's has to be two guys on each side of second base. If you cut diagonally, second base, catcher, pitcher, second base to the outfield, there has to be two position infielders on each side of second base, no farther back than 10 feet of the infield dirt, so they can play just a little bit farther back.
Okay.
I think of you as a big pull side guy that's probably had the shift played against you in your life. Does that
forever? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that rule is good for baseball then, to limit the amount of shifts?
Man, I think it's a great rule. I mean, I think that's a great rule, bro. Keep them on that side. I've had so many hits taken away from me, like just hitting into the shifts that would normally line drives to the outfield, but because there's a second baseman playing there, I'm out. He catches that, or balls are up the middle that I crush, but there's a shortstop right there and he catches it at his chest. So like for me, it'd be a great rule to keep. You know what I mean? To prevent the shift. Just take away that other defender. But as far as baseball wise and you said what?
I want the shift because I want those lineouts against you to be caught. But from the greater scheme of it, obviously, okay, from you don't want it. Yeah, David, or you remind me, like, the David Ortiz, Ryan Howard, kind of hitter, and those guys don't like it. But for the game of baseball, what do you think of it from that aspect? Do you think that they should be set positions for position players?
See that, I mean, as a whole, it's tough, because like I get it, like, hey, if you have tendencies and you're going over there, then why not put more guys there, But I just feel like it takes away from that little factor of, me versus the pitcher now, like it's no longer just me against the pitcher, if I hit a ball hard, I win type, you know what I mean? Like now it's like, instead of having those two infielders over there and the outfielder, now it's just making my job more tough, But like I said, I mean, it's all selfish, I guess you can say. But from the bigger scheme of things, like it's hard for me to think of it as the bigger scheme of like the game, because right-handed people don't really get shifted too much, like you see it sometimes, but maybe a minor shift to the other side. Even first base, like if a certain guy's hitting, I'll shift over a little bit, but you don't ever see the shift how it is on lefties, so it's just different. I don't really, to be honest, I don't have an answer for that one. I don't.
Yeah, that's tough on my end too, and I kind of like the competitive advantage of trying to shift guys. I like the idea of shifting. Personally, I think you should. That's why teams can create their competitive advantage, is to find out who shifts and how to shift. And I kind of like that, but I think it's good for an experimental league like the Atlantic League to try it out and to see what's go back to the old rules and kind of weigh the differences out and have some data to try to back it up and see what's better or what's worse, and then make the decision. But yeah, maybe not in the minor leagues, but I think it's a fair rule to implement within an independent league.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, like, I mean, shifting is kind of part of it, because if you have tendencies, like, then why are we not gonna play over here? You know, like, so I get that part of it. Like, if you're hitting the ball every time to right field or to the right side, and we know if you hit a ground ball, it's gonna go in these two areas, then why not play you there? You know, so I get that part of it for sure. And it adds, like you said, more competition and more of a competitive thing to where it's like, okay, now as a hitter, I got to be even better because the shift is on, you know? So if it's throwing it inside, I just got to hit with the fence now. But that's like, you know what I mean? But like,
isn't that your strategy anyways? It doesn't matter where they pitch it to you. You're taking it deep.
Yeah, I'm just going to try to go to the trees. No, but that is, I mean.
Tell me again this home run you hit off me. You said you hit it to where?
It was to right field in Quebec, off the either off of the scoreboard or over the scoreboard.
Oh.
But it was funny because like we had just like went out to eat, or I saw you and Adam out or something like that, and you're like, I noticed like you've been taking a lot of first pitches, and I was like, yeah, like I've just been trying to like see the ball, you know. And then I was like I got to start being more aggressive in those, because you get fastballs, but I take them. And then against you threw me first pitch fastball like down and in, and I hit it out the first pitch. And yeah, and then Adam was like, "Dude, I thought you weren't swinging that first pitch."
One of these rules that I was reading in the rule book of the Atlantic League is there's no talking in between teammates or other teams, and there's no back and forth that's allowed. It's kind of one of these unwritten rules of baseball anyways, that you're not, a lot of managers don't want you to talk to the other team, go to their line. But man, see, if that rule were in place and I didn't hang out with you the day before, man, I probably would have got you. I appreciate you giving me the insight of what it's like to, play first base and, these automated strike zones, these rule changes. It's a change in the game, but your insight will be appreciated. And I'm sure the fans in West Virginia are going to really like hearing from somebody that's played at Appalachian Power Park. And tell me again, you played at Appalachian Power Park, and what happened there?
Yeah. I was with it's in the South League, right? Yep. South Atlantic League. Yep. Yeah. I was with the Lakewood Blue Claws at the time.
And your memories
we played there.
Memories of Power Park?
Couple homers. We had the Toast Man there too.
The Toast Man,
man. But it was good time. Good times over there. I remember like we faced Glasnow. Glasnow was there. We faced. I mean, that's when Stetson Alley had hit a bunch of home runs that year, like 25 or something like that. Crazy. He went from pitching to hitting. Mm-hmm. So I remember playing there. It was a nice park too. Nice ballpark.
Definitely. Art Charles, Sakula in Depth. Appreciate having you on.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yep.
Take it easy.
Later, Art.
Later.